January. I can't believe we're already in January. This is cray cray. If you're new to the Geek Crew, you probably don't know the drill when it comes to seed starting videos, but here it is. It does not matter where you are in the world. You do not have to be in Canada for this video to apply. This video applies to anyone who's outdoors right now, has freezing cold temperatures, snow, rain, anything like that. If it's cold and the plants will not survive and thrive, this video applies to you, regardless of where you are in the world. The reason for this is because, first off, zones don't matter anymore at this point, particularly for annuals. And secondly, the last frost date doesn't even matter, because between just normal fluctuations in the climate outdoors based on El Nino or El Nino, to the fact that there's low tunnels, high tunnels, cold frames, greenhouses, it doesn't matter anymore at this point. No, it doesn't. However, I'm going to give you tips and tricks for which ones you should start in January. So my list for January is around 25-ish plants, and it's a little bit bigger than the December list. However, there are some overlapping ones. And what I do with this is when I'm overlapping the seeds, it is solely because I'm going to repeat them until the cutoff date, till you literally cannot start these seeds anymore, and then you won't hear from me anymore in regards to that seed being started. So if you're like, wait, that's a duplicate from December, there's a reason for it. It's because not everyone is on top of their game, namely me. Okay, number one is cuttings. Now this can apply to anything indoors that's a houseplant or that you overwintered, you name it. There's so many different forms of them. There's the wandering dudes, there's pothos, there is begonias, there are coleus, like the literally African violets. All of these can be propagated and started. And you're getting a little bit late, but now's definitely a time to do that if you want to use these decoratively outdoors. Next one is strawberries. So strawberries, you can start from seed in January, and typically speaking, the earlier you start them, the better, because the more root system, the more biomass you have to put outdoors. The stronger the root system, the more likely they are to survive in your environment. So strawberries, I highly recommend you start those now. And with strawberries, there's always rhubarb, because rhubarb strawberry pie is the best pie on planet Earth. Fight me on it. Fight me on it. Pumpkin, I can't eat because as a ginger, that's not allowed. It's like cannibalism, to be honest. My mom used to call me pumpkin, so it's cannibalism. Rhubarb strawberry pie is my absolute favorite, which is why rhubarb can be started at the same time the strawberries are started. So rhubarb, again, is another one that's a perennial that you want to get a big root mass on, a whole bunch of upper leaf foliage on when you go to transplant outdoors, because it ensures their survival. So rhubarb, start in January. And again, there's nothing fancy to start this one. Onions and leeks. Now, this one I stressed a bunch in the December video, and I will stress it a bunch in this video. If you want big onions, and you cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Anyways, that you want to start them now, because it actually will equate to very large onions. And everyone likes large onions. And leeks. Leeks are okay. Onions are better. Peppers. This one applies to hot peppers specifically, or ones that you overwintered and you want to bring back to life. Now I am going to do the yogurt maker trick video for you guys on how you can actually just skip these first few months of pepper starting seeds, because you can just kind of override the length of time it takes to start peppers via a yogurt maker. So I'm going to do that video because I personally don't start my peppers till a little bit later, and that's just because of room. The fact that I forget a lot when it comes to actually like physically watering the plants. So peppers I do put off for a little while, but if you don't have access to a yogurt maker, then I highly suggest you start them now. And this is particularly true, and you're going to hear me say this a few times in the video, if you don't have a heat mat. If you don't have a heat mat, then you want to start a lot of these plants now, because heat actually expedites the germination process. If you don't have access to that, you want to consider starting them now. Now, ways you can get around not having a heat mat is, for example, the registers on the floor or a really warm window can actually mimic a heat mat to an extent. So that is one way to kind of get around it. Next up is asparagus. I mentioned this one in the last video. Same rules apply that I mentioned in that video. It literally comes down to root biomass. That's why you do it. Artichokes is another one. The plant itself is huge. The flower is beautiful. And the vegetable is is very nummy. It was one of the plants that I chose to grow. I was a little bit shocked by how durable the leaves were and how quick it did grow. So artichoke is definitely one you can start now, whether it's for decorative purposes and or eating purposes. The ones I can pop a link down below to, I've worked with West Coast Seeds to kind of put together like a landing page for me of all the seeds I buy every single year. And so any seeds on that page are seeds that I grow religiously. I think there's 50 of them or something like that. I'll link that down below. The ones that aren't on that list, I will link separately. Next up is kohlrabi. So kohlrabi, it definitely can be started later. However, if you start it now, you can get an earlier harvest earlier in the summer/spring area. I don't want to say you can leave them in longer and get a bigger kohlrabi. You can leave them in longer and get a bigger kohlrabi. They tend to get a little bit woody if you leave them in for too long. So this is definitely a plant you could start now. And if you chose to start now, you could do it in waves, meaning start now and then wait a month, start another set in a month, and then wait and kind of spread things out. So you're not harvesting all your kohlrabi at once and you have a constant supply throughout the summer months. So wave planting, if you're going to go that route, kohlrabi is one to do right now. The other benefit is they do okay-ish in cooler climates, and so long as they're not freezing. So you can actually put them out a little bit earlier. If your nights aren't super warm and they're still below 10 degrees Celsius, it doesn't really matter for these guys. They tend to be happy. Next up is one that someone on the Geek Crew did mention in the last video, and that is celery. So celery is one that I've done several times over, and the last time I did it was not last year, the year before that, and I had an aphid issue, and the aphids demolished my celery. The other thing is it ended up being very skinny and not very thick. A lot of that definitely comes down to variety. So I just bought mine at the store, meaning I just literally purchased it from the greenhouse in the 6-packs. What you want to go for is Utah celery. Several people in the Geek Crew said that Utah celery is the favorite for a majority of gardeners. And from what I've read, it tends to be slightly aphid resistant, and it also, I'm not guaranteed, but is more likely to give you celery sized sticks, if you will. So definitely one to consider. If you just want the taste, like if you're thinking, I just want to be able to make mirepoix when I want to use the flavor of a celery, you want to go for lovage and lovage, and everyone gets mad at me how I pronounce that. However you pronounce said word, you can start that right now as well. It's a perennial and it has the flavor. So you can just dry it out and then use the flavor of celery. Because who wants to chew on strings anyways? It's like chewing on fiber optic cable. Four flowers you can start right now are delphiniums, foxgloves, snapdragons, and columbines. So these guys, the reason you start snapdragons now is because you actually pinch the tops off of them. You can also, you can start violas as well. I never grow violas, so they always kind of go off the radar for me, but I know a lot of people do enjoy them. So viola is definitely one you can start now. Let's get into herbs. And these herbs they're a mix between like aromatic herbs, meaning solely for smell, and ones you use in cooking. So the first one is eucalyptus. All shapes, forms, and sizes of eucalyptus can be started now. And the reason for that is because they take a heck of a long time to grow. And if you're looking for more branching and bushing, you do need to cut and actually cause the bushing via removal of the apical meristem, which is a fancy word for cutting the top off, which makes it grow side shoots. So eucalyptus, definitely one you want to grow now. The next ones are the woody family of herbs. So thyme, rosemary, lavenders, sage, mint, literally anything that has kind of that woody stem or can develop that woody stem, you can start now. The purpose to starting it now, other than the lavender and the rosemary, those two need to be started now because of how long they take to grow, and that's just the nature of that plant. But the rest of them, the reason you'd start the rest now is because, again, you get a bushier plant because you have time to actually cut the plant back and force it to branch and bush. So if you want to get more bang for your buck out of a single plant, now's the time to start these. Now the next one is lemon balm. Lemon balm, I've grown it before. I just literally don't know how to cope with it. It's a more of a herbaceous plant, but it's another one that is where you trim it back, you can get more bang for your buck, which is why it falls into this category. However, you could let this one go until February if you wanted. Chives, so chives, all you're going for here is a bigger root ball mass, and that's it. It's a perennial type herb, so you just want a bigger biomass of roots when you put them in the ground. So you can start them now. You can direct sow these as well, depending on what your goals are. So yeah, if you want a bigger plant next year, then start your chives now and get a bigger root mass in the bottom. Next up is stevia. So stevia, this one made the January list because the 1 year that I did grow it, I didn't start it till March, I think, which is what the package said to do. And usually I rely on the package very feverishly. It didn't work. It ended up in just kind of like one long stick, which makes me want to start stevia in January and then actually trim it back to again get more of that bushing rather than just one long thing of plant leaves. Now, how you use stevia or get it out of the plant, no idea. No idea. No idea. But it is the plant that makes sweetener. So there you have it. I'm not good with that sort of stuff. There's probably many Geek Crew members that are. I am not it. But it is the plant that makes it. So if anyone figures it out, please let me know in the comments down below because I'm going to grow it again this year. So if you want to know how to actually keep the light on the plant and increase the light without adding more lighting or wasting more power, you're going to want to check out this video right here. And that video is what Google says to watch because they work on AI and AI is taking over. So treat them nice and show them that you love them by clicking that video down there. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.